各位来宾、女士们、先生们。
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. According to the agreement between Chinese and Russian prime ministers, China is the partner country of the Third Moscow International Forum for Innovative Development. Today, we are gathered here for the partner country innovation dialogue. On behalf of the Chinese Ministry of Science and Technology, I would like to begin by congratulating on the convening of this innovation dialogue and extend greetings to all of you. I'd also like to thank the organizing committee for their input in this dialogue. Thank you so much. Now please allow me to introduce to you the speakers from the Chinese and the Russian side. We're very honored to be joined by Dr. Wang Gang, Minister of Science and Technology of the People's Republic of China. Dr. Xue Qikun, Vice President of Tsinghua University for Research. Professor Zhao Gang with the Chinese Academy of Science and Technology for Development. We are also very honored to be joined by Russian speakers, Dr. Fursenko, former Minister of Education and Science of the Russian Federation and current presidential aide. Dr. Livanov, Minister of Education and Science. Academician Alferov, full member and vice president of the Russian Academy of Sciences, president of its St. Petersburg Scientific Center, and 2000 Nobel Prize laureate in physics. And Dr. Vexelberg, president of Skolkovo Foundation and Renova Group. Now, let's give them a full round of applause. Thank you for joining us here. Well, firstly, I'd like to give the floor to Dr. Livanov, Minister of Education and Science. Minister Livanov, the floor is yours.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues. I would like to welcome you on the Moscow International Forum of Innovation Development called Open Innovations. This is the third time that we hold this forum in Moscow, but the peculiarity of this very forum is the partnership with the People's Republic of China being the co-host. I would like to thank you, our colleagues, our friends from China, for their cooperation for organizing. During the emerging of the Russian and Chinese development, the participation of the People's Republic of China proved the most important role that plays the scientific and technology role, and the positioning it on the new level. The Open Innovations Forum is a very important discussion platform on the international level and about the innovation and practical implementation. I'm absolutely sure that together work with our scientists and businessmen will trigger the cooperation in advanced technology, higher education, and also to maintain the good tradition of the dialogue between Russia and the People's Republic of China. The emerging of the bilateral scientific cooperation gives us the possibility to become more competitive on the international market, to be more attractive on the international level for the advanced technology domains. We are already taking a bunch of measures in order to create good ecosphere, in order to implement on the practical field the results of R&D development, both in Russian industry and in Chinese industry. The most important results are supposed to be seen in the field of the development and in the implementation, the long-term R&D project aimed at the solving of the key economic issues of both countries. Together with Chinese partners, we agreed on the organizing bilateral competitions for the scientifics and also projects with participation of Russian and Chinese partners. The number of the project and its resources support is emerging. By 16, it will exceed 300 millions, which is much bigger than for the other parts. Today, we cooperate in a mega scientific project. I'd like to underline the fruitful cooperation between the Institute of Nuclear Research in Dubna with the major Chinese universities. First of all, about the nucleatron created in the Dubna city. We will welcome the further integration of Chinese part and Chinese researchers in NICA project. We will call for help from the students, youth specialists. We will scale the regional cooperation and regional conferences. By that, our cooperation will be fruitful. According to our estimation, by 2020, the youth exchange will overpass 100,000 persons. It's a good example of cooperation. One of the most prospective projects is the creation of the common Russian-Chinese university in Shenzhen city. This is the first humanitarian project of the large scale in the field of Russian-Chinese cooperation, and the center in the Moscow State University of Lomonosov will be in front line of the cutting-edge educational project. In the perspective, we can form the high-skilled specialists in order to trigger international innovative partnership, in order to develop our relationships. So we think about the creation of the separate R&D group under the auspices of the Russian-Chinese Intergovernment Commission. It should create a positive impact in the R&D cooperation. I'm absolutely sure that all the events organized within the Open Innovation Forum exhibition will be fruitful and mutually benefit. I wish to all the participants fruitful work and the constructive dialogue. Thank you for your attention.
Well, thank you so much, Minister Livanov. Now, I'd like to give the floor to Dr. Wang Gang, Minister of Science and Technology of the People's Republic of China. He's going to deliver a keynote speech. Dr. Wang, the floor is yours. Honorable Dr. Fursenko, Honorable Minister Livanov, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my great pleasure to join scientists and business leaders from both China and Russia in the historic city of Moscow and attend the Open Innovation Forum and exhibition. Science and technology provided the driving force for growth, and innovation represents the soul of human progress. Innovation in S&T builds the foundation of human civilization and that makes the world a better place. The theme of the forum is open innovation. It provides an opportunity for scholars and experts from various sectors to jointly discuss the features of innovation in the new era and the best ways for government to support innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, Russia is a nation with a renowned scientific tradition and a spirit of innovation. The innovations of Russia have made tremendous contributions to the progress of the human civilization and are respected by people all over the world. Over the years, Russia has delivered numerous world-class research findings and outcomes in mathematics, physics, quantum mechanics, medicine, and other areas of basic research. And you also made significant progress in the fields of materials, information, biology, aviation, space, and other applied research. All these are attributable to science, technology, and innovation. As a friendly neighbor, China has engaged in S&T cooperation with Russia since a long time ago. As early as 60 years ago, when the People's Republic of China was founded, China sent a large group of students to study advanced S&T in Russia. Many of them later became renowned scientists, engineers, entrepreneurs, and statesmen in China. Since the launch of a reform and opening up, China and Russia S&T cooperation has continued to expand in scope and depth and taken on new forms. In December 1992, China and Russia signed the agreement on collaboration in S&T. I'm very pleased to work very closely with former Minister Fershenko and current Minister Livanov to promote our joint collaboration in S&T. In 2013, during President Xi Jinping's visit to Russia, he reaffirmed that the development of China-Russia comprehensive strategic partnership of cooperation is one of the top priorities in our diplomatic agenda, and we should deepen collaboration in high-tech sectors and promote our ties in S&T. Just now, Premier Li Keqiang in his speech also pointed out the way forward to advance the China-Russia S&T cooperation in the new era. We need to follow up with their agreement and their leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to spend a few minutes sharing with you the latest progress of S&T in China. The Chinese government has all along attached great importance to S&T innovation. In 2006, the Chinese government promulgated the National Medium and Long-Term Program for S&T Development. And in 2010, the 12th five-year plan was launched. We put science and technology as the key to transform China's economic growth pattern. In 2012, the National Conference on S&T Innovation was convened, laying out key tasks for reforming the S&T system and developing national innovation system. The government also initiated the strategy of innovation-driven development. In recent years, with a notable rise in China's S&T strength, the role of science and technology in driving economic and social progress has been increasingly visible. A number of important outcomes have been produced in basic research and frontier sectors. With regard to, aside from basic research, we also realized progress in high-tech sectors like high-speed rail, fourth generation telecommunication, and also UHV power transmission and transformation. In 2013, China's gross R&D expenditure amounted to 1,119 billion RMB yuan, accounting for 2.09% of its GDP, and over 76% of the R&D expenditure come from the business sector. The full-time equivalent R&D personnel reached 3.6 million, producing 590,000 valid domestic invention patents. A large number of our researchers work for enterprises. And China also reached a large contract value of a technology transaction of the whole country that reached 746.9 billion RMB yuan. And China also ranked the second globally in number of international scientific papers and fourth in the world for the number of citations of their papers. The strategy of innovation-driven development has already become a cross-sector, interagency, cross-region, and all-round economic and social development strategy. We see science and technology innovation as the golden key for accelerating the shift of growth model, adjusting the industrial structure, improving people's living standards, and ensuring social security in China. Our goal is to unleash the dynamism of labor, knowledge, technology, management, and capital, and mobilize the public into supporting innovation. Well, in the future, we will focus on the following 6 areas. First, concentrating on priority areas of S&T innovation. The unfolding technology and industrial revolution on the global stage today is characterized by accelerated evolution from science, technology to market, and blurred boundaries between different R&D subjects, and more flexible and convenient technology upgrading and translation of research findings into application. Therefore, we need to improve the designs of R&D programs, facilitate interagency and cross-sector collaboration, and arouse public participation in order to concentrate innovation resources on major issues that concern the prospect of our societies and the competitiveness of our nation, say food, energy, environment, and health. We need to ensure the good design and implementation of the projects throughout the innovation chain, from basic and frontier research and key generic technologies to systematic integration and technology application, so that innovation will play a more proactive role in supporting the shift of growth model. Second, we need to step up our governmental support for S&T innovation. The government must increase its input of R&D resources for basic research, frontier exploration, and high technologies, as well as agricultural resources, ecology, health, and other areas of public interest, so that we can encourage enterprises, especially small and medium enterprises, into innovation. Thirdly, fostering and enabling innovation environment. Innovation must be pursued through collaboration in technologies, laws, regulations, policies, as well as financial and business models. Therefore, it is important to create an enabling environment between scientists, engineers, entrepreneurs, finances, and managers. As Premier Li mentioned, that we hope our engineers, scientists, and also workers could enjoy the benefits of innovation, and they can benefit from the innovation value chain, so that we can arouse the interest and the enthusiasm of scientists and engineers to be involved in innovation, so that around the country we're going to have an innovation enabling environment. Fourthly, enhancing the scientific and technology competitiveness of industries. We are going to speed up our efforts to cultivate new information, new energy, new materials, biotechnologies, intelligent manufacturing, and other important emerging industries, so that we can seek scientific breakthroughs on major strategic issues, strengthen the linkage between companies, universities, and research agencies. And we'll also support the strategic industrial alliances to engage in the research of generic technologies with industrial and regional features, and facilitate the dissemination of technologies through the market in order to attract more private capital into supporting the adjustment of industrial structure. Fifthly, building regional innovation system and support SME innovation. Over the past 20 years, 105 high-tech development zones have been established in China, including Beijing Zhongguancun Science Park, Shanghai Zhangjiang High-Tech Park. In 2013, the total output of high-tech zones accounted for 15% of the added value of industrial sector, and 1/3 of the China's R&D investment, invention patents, and new product sales come from companies based in these high-tech zones. Many flagship innovation companies in China, including Huawei, ZTE, Lenovo, Baidu, Tencent, Xiaomi, and Alibaba, have grown out of these high-tech zones. Well, around the big names and the big companies like Alibaba, Baidu, Lenovo, 4 of them are based in China, and they grew out of the high-tech zones in China. Altogether, there are 1,400 high-tech business incubators in China, with over 70,000 startup companies under incubation. In the future, we will develop better financial assistance policies and give more support to the innovation endeavor of SME through technology transfer and services. We will improve the financing guarantee system and credit policies for high-tech companies and direct more private capital to high-tech SMEs. Just as our Prime Minister mentioned that we will not only to share the success of the small and medium enterprises, we will also need to tolerate their failure. Take Alibaba as an example, who just went enlisted in New York, and to see only achieved success in his second startup business. He failed the first time when he started a business, but we as government were very tolerant of the failure of the small and medium enterprises. Sixth, strengthening international S&T cooperation and opening up. We have taken an active part in the global network of S&T innovation. We are a very active partner of international mega science programs like International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor ITER program, the Group on Earth Observation GEO program, the International Ocean Discovery program, and the Square Kilometer Array and the Galileo program. We have established innovation dialogue mechanisms with 104 countries and regions around the world. We are most proud of our collaboration with Russia, because as a historical partner, we have achieved great success in many areas. What is the most important thing is that we have a close people-to-people exchanges. Our scientists have a very close bond. Ladies and gentlemen, in the face of climate change, food shortage, environmental pollution, communicable diseases, and other global challenges, it is the responsibility for all scientists to enhance international collaboration. China and Russia should not only expand the scale, but more importantly, boost the quality of our cooperation. To follow up with the agreement between Prime Minister Li and Prime Minister Medvedev, we need to do as follows. I have several proposals to make. First, enhancing strategic coordination and promoting common development. We should carry out dialogues on issues of mutual concern in our pursuit of S&T innovation, so that we can have better understanding of each other's innovation policies and environment. The S&T administrations and authorities of our two countries need to strengthen contacts and engagements, enhance communication on S&T development strategies, so that we can share our experiences in S&T management. Well, second, increasing the depth of S&T cooperation. We should support and encourage our scientists to take part in academic research and scientific programs in relevant research agencies and higher learning institutions of the other side. As Minister Livanov just mentioned, that in the future we are going to jointly set up a university in Shenzhen. I hope, and in the future, we could have closer contacts between universities and research institutes. We can address problems, research challenges together. Well, the third, enhancing cooperation on major projects. During the Prime Minister's meetings, our enterprises signed 39 signed agreements on 39 projects. And Prime Minister Li urged us to follow up with the implementation of these agreements. We need to step up the feasibility study on these projects and try to address the technology challenges of these projects. Fourth, we need to strengthen non-governmental cooperation. Small and medium enterprises are the driving force of innovation and business competitiveness. We need to explore many forms of cooperation and provide services to SMEs to enable them to grow stronger and larger so that they can really go to the international market. I hope we could have more Huawei, Lenovo, ZTE, and Alibaba. Ladies and gentlemen, as a nation Chinese saying goes, one can always gain new insights by reviewing old experiences and practices. The strong basis of our past cooperation lays the foundation for our bright future. Let us take the opportunity of Prime Minister's meetings and make even greater contribution to our innovation collaboration. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you, Dr. Wang, Minister Wang. Now, I'd like to give the floor to Dr. Fursenko, former Minister of Education and Science of the Russian Federation and the current presidential aide. Fursenko, the floor is yours.
Dear Mr. Vangan, dear colleagues, dear friends, today we meet on the event dedicated to innovations development. These two words remain key words in discussions of social economic development for the last 20 years. For the last 10-15 years, Russia has created an innovative system that provides for all the tools needed to create innovative economy. This system looks like that. We have good results for social and economic development, and the key elements of the system were created many years ago back in Soviet Union times, and I remember well when under the supervision of Mr. Alferov, the first innovative centers for basic studies were created. Nowadays, the international situation creates a choice for us whether to create cooperation in terms of globalization or to develop the innovative system development in our own country. On the one side, the creation of our own system looks very attractive, but let's have a look at the international practice. The countries with strong economies did not manage to create their own strong economies without any expertise of other countries. We speak a lot about the United States of America. Every year, the USA attracts $200 million of investments in biotechnologies in the amount of $80 million. They attract also the financing from China. Germany buys technology in amount of $54 billion. For the last 10 years, 14% of high-skilled workers worked not in their own country, whether we like it or not. But in the global world, we cannot create an innovative system in our own country. It is known that the principles of sustainable development is competitive advance advantage, and in order to have it, we need resources for the development and well-functioning of society, good defense of the country, and providing high living standards of society, the provision of transport infrastructure and industrial technology. In other words, independency is an ability to allow the main spheres of the country to develop well under any conditions, not dependent on what challenges and problems we face in the world today. But in order to have sustainable development, independence is not the one thing we need. We have to have competitive advantage, and it means that we have to have subjective and objective advantages in the global world, new perspective and future-oriented ideas and capacities to launch them in our own country. We need independence, but at the same time we need to cooperate well with other economies. And in order to facilitate competitive advantage, we have to follow the international markets and the trends on international arena. We have to create a situation where the partners depend more on us than we on them. We have to create a mutually beneficial balance where there is no competition. You sleep well, but you live worse. We do not need the policy of isolation. We need to develop competitive advantages based on partnership relations and our own efforts. The development of Russian-Chinese development demonstrates good sides of such cooperation, and the examples serve as good testimony to it. Dear colleagues, any development nowadays is connected with radical innovation based on research findings and on findings made in basic research. At the same time, modern research cannot be made in one country only. Russia is aimed at cooperation with China in the sphere of science and technology, including decommercialization and commercialization of research findings. Our ministers have highlighted it, and I would like to highlight it once again. We should speak about it not only on the level of ministers, but we should raise awareness about it among the universities, scholars, researchers, and this is the reason we work. For the last 10 years, Russia has lost a lot in the sphere of research, but we still develop the high-skilled specialists and scholars. The leading universities and research centers were provided with good technologies and equipment. The good scholars develop in our country, and nowadays our country has a goal to achieve high results in the sphere of science. We still keep our priorities of science development. And it all is connected with the perspective and future-oriented goals of economy and our country. It's one of the main directions to support the priorities of our science activity. I would like to stress once again that the choice of science priorities is hard nowadays. It's hard to predict the future. There appear new knowledge, new radical innovations, and they change groundly the development of the country. The changes happen so fast that we have no time to attend to it. So we have to develop the key sectors of economy, not only for today, but also for the future. We have to make the living standards of the society high. We have to be based on the good ideas of the researchers and scholars. Together with the choice of priorities, we pay attention to the creation of the new levels of science development and In order to address all these issues, Russia has made a lot of important solutions, and the government has taken the law that stands for the consolidation of the Academy of Agriculture, Medical Academy, in order to bring all the sectors together to address the issues of health, ecology, and products for our country. According to the decree of the president, the Russian Scientific Foundation was created that should promote the priorities and the society of expertise. As far as you know, the solutions who should we support is taken in this new organization. So the support of the program development of universities and innovative structures is aimed at new developments. So this process is a long-term one. The key element here is not only higher economic competence advantage. The innovations is a key role, a key sphere that young scientists want to choose for their life. So we have to raise the prestige of this profession among young generation. A part of innovative policy is international cooperation based on mutual vectors and directions and the use of international partnership, the creation of innovative centers and good cooperation between them among the world. So the dialogue between Russia and China that was created 1 year ago in Shanghai is a good example of it. We came to the conclusion that we have to rethink the development of our countries in science and technology. We already have a high level of cooperation between the countries. Mr. Livanov, Mr. Vangan have already stated this point, and I'm not going to tell you in detail about the direction where we are already successful, but in order to be more successful in the future, we have to create the model of cooperation in this sphere oriented on the challenges of the next day. So we have to expand the dialogue between the countries that was created 1 year ago in Shanghai, aimed at cooperation between the countries and include the principles that allow us to have really fruitful cooperation between each other in order to create such a strong foundation and for structural, constructive dialogue between our countries and the next generations. Dear colleagues, science and technology always served as a factor that brought together the countries and the best representatives of them. From this point of view, we have to do our best to expand the international cooperation in the sphere of innovations. I think that we are all aimed at better results for each country, and I think the input of the cooperation between Russia and China will allow our countries to have a high level of prosperity. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fursenko, for your wonderful remarks. Now I'd like to give the floor to Dr. Xue Qikun, Vice President of Tsinghua University for Research. Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I feel very much honored to attend the Partner Country Innovation Dialogue of the third Moscow International Forum for Innovative Development and the historic convergence of a technological and industrial revolution. Please allow me, on behalf of the Tsinghua University, to share with you some of our views and experiences. I will talk about the position and the mission of research universities in the national innovation system from three aspects of Tsinghua University, that is, were essential elements, practices, and international cooperation. Tsinghua University was established in 1911, located in northwestern part of Beijing, with self-discipline and social commitment as its motto. Tsinghua has become a comprehensive research university and is on its way to become a leading university. At present, Tsinghua University has a faculty of nearly 3,300, including 41 members of the Chinese Academy of Sciences and 34 members of the Chinese Academy of Engineering. It has 19 schools, 55 departments, 13 state key labs, 7 national engineering labs, 3 collaborative innovation centers, and 1 demonstration base for innovation talent training. We have a large R&D fund. Our R&D fund from the government reached 4.18 billion yuan in 2013. This creates a favorable learning and research environment for over 40,000 students on campus. In retrospect, Tsinghua University has undergone several transformations in its over 100 years of history. It shifted its focus from Western liberal education in the 1911 to 1952 period to the Soviet multidisciplinary polytechnic in the 1952 to 1966 period, and to a new type of research university from 1979 until now. In its early days, Tsinghua focused on training undergraduates and developed a large number of people well grounded in Chinese and Western and ancient and modern learning. And in the period from 1978, we have become what the country and society expect of the students from research university, like what we have done. For the purpose, Tsinghua has put in place a good teaching model based on the extracurricular innovation activities and released a series of measures meant to foster pro-innovation entrepreneurs. Looking forward, it is imperative to accelerate the national innovation system by keeping abreast of the times and coordinating the strategies of innovation country building and innovation-driven development. And I hope university will no longer be the ivory towers where systematic knowledge exploration is the norms, but have transformed from the academic organization into innovation organizations. To put it simply, it's the genes of the researchers at Tsinghua University become top people of indomitable spirit. In order to carry out forward this tradition, Tsinghua University has carried out a lot of innovation activities. As a fountainhead of knowledge and innovation, Tsinghua has given equal importance to basic research and applied research. We have made a series of breakthroughs, such as discovery of a quantum anomalous Hall effect, comprehensive technology support for the development of high-speed trains, high-temperature gas-cooled reactor, to name just a few. In order to better facilitate transformation of research outcomes and achieve the mission of Tsinghua Technology Serving Society, Tsinghua University has, over the past 30 years, put in place a diverse university industry collaboration systems. We have promoted the commercialization of our research findings and the introduction and transfer of overseas technology and the provision of specialized services for big enterprises from home and abroad. Project incubation has been underway in Tsinghua Science Park, established in 1994. Throughout 20 years of development, Tsinghua Science Park has created a market-based innovator model. By the end of 2013, it has incubated more than 1,000 enterprises, including 36 premium enterprises and 13 listed enterprises. Tsinghua Holding Corporation Limited, established in late 2003, is directly engaged in innovation industrialization. By the end of 2013, the working capital of Tsinghua Holdings had increased from 7,819 million Chinese yuan to 32,817 million Chinese yuan. Tsinghua Holding has a controlling stake in up to 50 enterprises, with the return of university-funded enterprises accounting for 20 to 25% of Tsinhua's total contract value. A virtuous circle of technology serving society and industry supporting university has been formed. We have established research centers and institutes in 4 localities. Take our research institute in Shenzhen, for example. It was founded 18 years ago. Ever since 18 years ago, we have really incubated more than 600 high-tech enterprises and make useful explorations in leading and driving regional innovation. In the backdrop of open innovation, the research activities of a research university have an increasingly importantly international vision. Tsinghua University attaches great importance to international cooperation. And we also scored lots of successes in this regard. In terms of the value of international projects, Tsinghua University signed 412 new projects with overseas universities and enterprises with paid-in capital of 245 million yuan, ranking the first among all Chinese universities. In terms of collaboration platforms, Tsinghua University has 5 national and 12 city-level international S&T collaboration bases, in addition to joint research centers established with 28 overseas enterprises and 10 overseas universities and research institutes. In terms of cooperation models, they cover sponsored research, commissioned R&D, joint R&D, technology service, technology transfer, and consulting. Finally, I would like to say a few words about our collaboration with Russian counterparts. As early as in the 1950s and 60s, more than 60 Soviet experts were invited to take part in the curriculum planning, establishment of new disciplines, and teaching at Tsinghua universities. They contributed a lot to the development of the university. Yesterday, I paid a visit to Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology. That university helped us a lot in the 1950s to 1960s. They sent 11 experts to Tsinghua during that period. And we also very strong personnel ties. In our faculty, there are 5 Soviet returned academicians, 34 with a diploma earned from a Russian university, and with over 100 studied in the former Soviet Union and Russia. Take Academician Gao Jingde as an example. He served as president of Tsinghua University in the 1980s. He had a doctoral degree from former Kalinin Polytechnic Institute and was the first Chinese to earn a doctoral degree in the Soviet Union. A relative comprehensive cooperation framework. Tsinghua University has always valued cooperation with Russia. In light of even stronger ties between China and Russia, Tsinghua University established the Joint Research Institute for China-Russia Strategic Cooperation on its centenary celebration in 2011. And thirdly, we have smooth and efficient cooperation channels. Through years of development, Tsinghua University has established close ties with a good number of Russian universities, research institutes, and technology companies. The list is too long to enumerate here. In addition to concrete cooperation in personal training, joint R&D, and technology transfer, there have also been many high-level academic events, such as Sino Russian Young Scientists Innovation Forum, jointly held with the Moscow State University in July 2012. As a leading research university in China, Tsinghua University plays an important role in the country's national innovation system. We believe that we need to contribute to the development of the country. Aside from cultivate the talent, we need to improve our innovation system, arouse the enthusiasm and the dynamism of innovation so that we can play an indispensable role in improving the mother country's comprehensive innovation ability. Russia is a great country, strong in innovation, awash in talent, and generous in national character. I would like to take this opportunity to extend the invitation to all of you. I hope you could all visit Tsinghua University and promote our cooperation in innovation so that we can contribute to the progress and development of a human society. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vice President Xue Qikun. Now I'd like to give the floor to Academician Alferov, full member and Vice President of the Russian Academy of Sciences and President of St. Petersburg Scientific Center.
First of all, I would like to thank the Ministry of Science and Technology of the People's Republic of China for inviting me to this forum. Can I see my presentation, please? My presentation's topic is the role of basic surveys in the technological breakthrough. I gave my presentation, but I cannot see it on the screen. That's good. First of all, I would like to say that recently I was in Belarus. We have a close cooperation with this country, and the Ministry of Science of Belarus gave a good explanation about the development of science and innovation. Science, when you pay to have new information, and innovations is when you transform knowledge into money. This is the R&D process, what it's all about. The main fields of technological modernization in Russia were precised in 2010 by our president, Mr. Medvedev. It laid a foundation for the Skolkovo Foundation. It was the main fields that you can see on the screen. I've chosen especially the photos of three good people. George Porter, I knew him very well. He was the president of the London Royal Assembly. And we met each other for many times in Korea because we were elected honorable members of the Korean Academy of Science. And he said that and Porter said that every science is applied. We apply it now, or we apply in 100 years. And what I want to say, Porter, that science defines the development of the civilization. And we justify it during every time, even now. Abraham Yoffe, I love him very much. He created the Soviet physics school, and in 20th century we had two main innovative projects, Manhattan Project in the United States and the creation of Russian nuclear weapon in the USSR. Adolf Hitler gave the necessary people for the United States because major scientists from Europe escaped from Nazi forces in the United States, and the main the main actors, Kurchatov, Kharitonov, Zidovich, and Alexandrov, Kiko and Arsenovich, was educated by Abram Yoffe within the auspices of the Russian Physics High School. James Heckman from the United States, from Chicago School. Together with Heckman, we received Nobel Prize in 2000. And James Heckman, during the round table of Nobel Prize winners, said that the scientific and technique project was defined by the competition of the United States and Russian, and I regret that this competition between our two states finished. These are the main topics of my presentation. Science researchers is the basis of the new technologies, the first point. I will brief you on the technological breakthrough after the Second World War that defined the whole development of our modern civilization. Then I will brief you on the new technologies for the new economy in Russia. And I will talk about problems in specific education for the new technologies, and the together's researchers between our university in St. Petersburg and in Beijing. This is the list of the main breakthrough technologies on the second half of the 20th century that were the prerequisites of the modern development. And I will talk first of all about the IT technologies development. This is the Nobel Prize in Physics 1956 went to those three eminent scientific researchers. John Burdine, the only person in physics that received two-time Nobel Prize, and semiconductor research leading to the point contact transistor was the three main points. First, Wilson's quantum mechanical theory. Second, Frankel's theories of certain photoconductive phenomena. And the third point is the independent and parallel developments of theories of contact rectification by Motz, Schotsky, and Davidov. Those are the main findings based on the basic studies in every country, together with Soviet scientists in Yoffe Institute. Same thing is fair for the next key discovering. Chinatowns next year very solemnly will celebrate its 100th anniversary. Even now, he's in good shape. We even cooperate now. Basov and Prokhorov are not with us anymore, but they worked on basic studies in spectroscopy, in radio frequency field in Lebedev Institute. This is the Nobel Prize that we received in 2000 for basic work on information and communication technology. For me, together with Herbert Kramer from the US and Jack Kilby for the creation of silicon chips. And Professor Claassen, during his opening address, formulated and said as follows: IT is used as a prime mover in the economic uprising our society has experienced over the past decades. It is based on the two main components as chips and semiconductor heterostructures, and he underlined that semiconductor heterostructures can be regarded as laboratories of two-dimensional electronic gases, and they received already 2 Nobel Prizes. And a few days ago, in the semiconductor heterostructures, has seen the 4th Nobel Prize for the Japanese specialists. Very briefly, this is not for our audience. What are the basic physics events in heterostructure lead to to this discovery. Very important was the electronic and optical limitation. I would like to draw your attention on the simple fact on the last part dedicated to the supergrid. I will not go deep in the physics, but the stimulated rayonment in hypergrids was proposed in our laboratory, in our institute in 1971 and proved after 23 years of research. This is very important because here we see the link between the idea, the physics and the technology due to very fast development of the molecular epitaxy technology. This idea has become true, which is a very important part of the semiconductor lasers working in the ultra-red field. It became reality when we discovered the ideal hyperstructure, and they now can be working in the normal temperature with the semiconductor lasers from which emerged the information from the compact disc and so on and so forth. And now it determined the semiconductor development. The semiconductors lead to the high-speed microelectronics, and it is based on the transistors in the heterostructures. Today, it is the basis not only in the space industry, but also terrestrial solar energy. Today, we have 44% of efficiency. Now we have the idea of the real development of the solar energy based on the semiconductor heterostructures. The Nobel Prize in Physics to 2014, those eminent researchers, Akasaki, did basic studies that searched the possibility to use high-scale materials, and then Amano complemented those developments, and Nakamura created those blue diodes to create the clear light sources. And I greet them on the Nobel Prize, and they said me that their discovery is linked to our semiconductors ideas. Light-emitting diodes too complicated. That's why I want to say how important to change also education. In the university, we should understand that the next phase of the technology development needs a completely different education approach of the youth specialists. Today, the cross-scientist developments are very important. In order to do breakthrough, we should be on the fracture line between physics and biology, between biology and the IT. We should form our specialists on the basics of the many different science. Those are the particularities of the educational programs in our academic university. We created two different types of the R&D centers. One center is supported by the Skolkovo Foundation. This center was built for the development, and our staff, our school guys included, participate in the creation of the new prospective technology based on the very profound basic studies. This is the molecular epitaxy and the specific technologies aimed at the development of the molecular epitaxy. The second part of the educational center is the Technology Education Center. Together with Micron Company and together with Rosneft, we discuss the creation Micron, we have already the center, and with Rosneft, we discussed the possibility of its creation. We participate very actively in the education, and moreover, I would like to say about our Russian-Chinese development of optoelectronics and nanoheterostructure. The Chinese part decided to name this laboratory after myself. Together with St. Petersburg Academic University, we work with Beijing University of Post and Telecommunication. You can see a list of main working fields, and in those fields we developed the new use of technology and science.
Let me show you a photograph from Beijing University. The leading scientists and members of the Academy of Science and professors, members of the faculty of our university, Mr. Dubrovsky, Mr. Zhukov, Mr. Vestinov, and other members worked as professors and made lections at Beijing University, promoting new research according to the research in Beijing and in our university. We prepare the candidates to PhDs in order to address the main issues in IT based on heterostructures. It's one of the examples that I want to show you for future development of superconductors and superconductive electronics, the way we can use them in different spheres. It's an ability to bring together heterostructures, silicium. It's an issue that scholars from all over the world address, and today we have really impressive findings in terms of nano spirals. The next slide, please. I think I'm running out of time, and at the end of my presentation, I would like to say that the future of joint Russian-Chinese research belongs to young generation. It's the main key point. So we would like to build one more area in our academic university, and the president of our country, Vladimir Putin, has supported our idea. Inside of it, the main idea is to construct a special building with clean facilities for start-up companies of our master students and PhDs that graduate from our university. In conclusion of my speech, I would like to say the following words. Friendship between Russian and Chinese scholars has a long history. I have a lot of PhDs from China, and the first of them came back in 1957. Even today, we continue to collaborate closely. We have a huge potential, scientific potential here in Russia that we managed to keep despite all the losses. There's a huge potential for development in People's Republic of China. We should use them together for civilized development of our planet in the future. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Academician Alferov. Now I'd like to give the floor to Professor Zhao Gang, who is with the Chinese Academy of Science and Technology for Development. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's my great pleasure to attend the Partisan Country Innovation Dialogue. Today, I will share with you some of the outcomes of my research, and that is research on China-US, China-EU innovation dialogues. Why do we need innovation dialogues? Because the world is now entering an era of innovation globalization. All countries are making use of global innovation resources and taking an active part in both international cooperation and competition to promote and drive economic growth and address global challenges. However, due to differences in national conditions, culture, policies, and systems, it is inevitable for countries to run into disagreements in their innovation cooperation. Against such a background, the innovation dialogue has provided an effective mechanism for communication and played an increasingly important role in resolving conflicts and building consensus. Firstly, basic facts and outcomes of China-US innovation dialogue. I'd like to present to you and walk you through 5 China-US innovation dialogues. So far, we've held 5 China-US innovation dialogues. In each of them, Chinese and American governmental agencies, enterprises, and universities participated in the dialogues and addressed and eased the frictions and the problems we existed. And that dialogue really promoted the relation between China and the EU and the US. The chair of the China-US Innovation Dialogue on the Chinese side is Minister Wang Gang, and the American counterpart is Dr. Hao Zhen, the U.S. presidential advisor on S&T policies. The keynote of the dialogue is from dialogue to cooperation. The first China-US Innovation Dialogue was held in October 2010, and the topics discussed at the dialogue include China-US innovation policies, innovation best practices, business roundtable, and tools of innovation and their relations with the principles of S&T innovation. In May 2012, the second China-US Innovation Dialogue was held in D.C. The topics include market access and technology transfer, innovation sponsorship, and non-discriminative innovation incentives, standards and IP policies, government intervention, and private sector perspectives. The third dialogue was held in May 2012 in Beijing. The topics discussed include status quo of innovation policies and their impact on service-focused China-US relations, innovation best practices and industry-university research innovation cooperation, measuring innovation performance and fostering a sound environment, local and business innovation entrepreneurship. The fourth dialogue was held in D.C. in July 2013. The theme was strengthening exchanges of innovation policies, promoting cooperation on S&T innovation. The two sides had in-depth discussion on innovation policies, IP, technology transfer, market competition, government support for innovation and industrialization. The fifth dialogue was held in July 2014 in Beijing. The main topics included exercises and the challenges of interagency innovation policies, policies in support of SME innovation, building the ecosystem of biopharmaceutical innovation and cooperation, and a smart infrastructure in urbanization. Thanks to the dialogue, we have established a cross-agency and a high-level platform with the synergy and participations of governmental agencies, research community, and business sectors. The research community and business sector have established 4 platforms. The first platform is China-US Joint Expert Group, and initiation of Minister Wang Gang and Dr. Hao Zhen. The research institutes and enterprises formed a joint expert group to conduct study and compare the statistics and the cases. And this joint expert group contributed a lot to China-US innovation cooperation. And based on that group, now China-US has already established a innovation policy network. Based on that network, we are about to establish China-US joint innovation research academy. The second platform is China-US S&T Innovation Park. The science community and the business sector designed in Wuxi a China-US S&T Innovation Park. In April 2013, Qingdao High-Tech Industrial Development Zone was approved, and in September 2013, the official agreement for China-US S&T Innovation Park was signed. Now, we try to establish a China-US joint innovation park in the States. The third platform is China-US Technology Transfer Center. In April 2013, China-US Technology Transfer Center was unveiled in the International Technology Transfer Center in Zhongguancun Science Park. The platform was initiated by governments, industries, universities, and research institutions, including China-US Alliance for Technology Transfer and Innovation, China-US Platform for Technology Transfer and Trading, China-US Fund for Technology Transfer and Innovation, and also Incubator. The fourth platform is the China-US Joint Research Center. A very successful example is China-US Clean Energy Research Center, which was established in 2009 with the joint funding from the both sides. The joint fund equaled $150 million from each side. So far, more than 100 universities, enterprises, and research institutes have participated in the joint research center. And the two sides are also ready to establish the joint research center in agriculture, health, and biotechnology areas. Well, so much about China-US innovation dialogue. Now, I would like to say a few words about our dialogue with the EU. Well, on September 28, 2013, on the sideline of the fifth China-EU summit, Dr. Wang Gang and his counterpart, EU Commissioner for Research, Innovation and Science, signed a joint declaration on China-EU Innovation Cooperation Dialogue. On November 21, 2013, the first China-EU dialogue on innovation cooperation was held in Beijing. The two sides welcomed the launch of a new cooperation plan in the areas of agriculture, food, and biotechnologies, and agreed to carry out a substantive cooperation in priority areas. They would like to promote open and fair competition. In order to follow up with the goals of the China-EU Innovation Dialogue, we also established a joint research center to study how to promote our innovation collaboration, and our joint research group will deliver the report to the next innovation dialogue between China and the EU. Now, I have several proposals for promoting China-Russia Innovation Dialogue. With the first, I believe China-Russia Innovation Dialogue should aim to address major issues and daunting challenges. Both China and Russia have set the goal of building an innovative country, and we both face difficulties and obstacles of various kinds. Our suggestion is that we should focus on major issues, identifying the main problems. Second, China-Russia Innovation Dialogue should be guided by the principle of complementarity of comparative strengths and win-win cooperation. China and Russia have much to offer each other through innovation cooperation. Russia pays more attention to basic research while China focuses more on applied research. We can complement each other and draw on each other's strengths and share our expertise. Third, China-Russia Innovation Dialogue should aim to build a platform of innovation cooperation. Our suggestion is that the two sides should support the building of joint innovation parks, with the government offering guidance and enterprises playing the primary role, using the model of industry-university research cooperation and operating in accordance with the market rules. Fourth, China-Russia Innovation Dialogue should aim to facilitate technology transfer and joint R&D programs. I suggest we establish the technology transfer centers and the R&D centers, facilitate the translation and application of research findings. Fifth, China-Russia Innovation Dialogue should aim to strengthen research on innovation policies so that we can better understand each other's innovation policies. We should establish joint expert group and conduct comparative studies on policies in areas like government procurement, government subsidies, technology transfer, and IP. Well, so much about my speech. Thank you so much for your attention. Well, Dr. Zhao Gang, thank you so much. Now I'd like to give floor to Dr. Vexelberg, President of Skolkovo Foundation and also President of Renova Group.
Dear Mr. Van Gan, Mr. Andrei Alexandrovich, dear colleagues, I'm very honored to take part in such an occasion and to make a speech together with the other renowned leaders and heads of the scientific institutions as Mr. Zhores Ivanovich Alferov, for example. Today, I would like to briefly tell you about the foundation of Skolkovo. This project was initiated by the President of Russia, Dmitry Medvedev, 4 years ago. 4 years ago, a special legislation regulating the activity of foundation was taken. It has a number of measures of state support. The decision was taken to allocate big financing to this project and allocation of big area where we started to construct a new innovation center. An innovation center is aimed at the creation of ecosystem to promote and support as well as develop innovative projects. This ecosystem includes the following elements. First one is the university. We created the university that has been working for 2 years already. It is called the Skolkovo University of Science and Technology. This institute was created by us together with the support of Massachusetts University. Today we have more than 200 students, more than our faculty is about 50 professors. We have 6 R&D centers, up to 8-10 laboratories. The university is aimed at the creation of high qualified personnel, not including the level of bachelor. So we have master's degree and PhD. The second level is the creation of Technopark. We have already started this project. Today, there are more than 1,000 companies that participate in our Technopark, and they are active in R&D and commercialization of R&D findings. The third element is our cooperation with global markets and cooperation, where our partners can commercialize their findings in our territory. We have signed about 30 agreements, and among our partners are the leading actors in the spheres that are priority to us. IBM, Microsoft, Intel, Alstom, Nokia, and many other companies. They are the leading companies in the spheres where we are active. The next level is money. Innovation means nothing without money. We have support of banks and venture companies. More than 40 venture foundations have signed contracts with us to collaborate with us in the future. And the fifth element is the city where people will live and study. 35,000 is the population of the city, where the citizens get support from the government, like education for children, health care, and sports venues, cultural venues. We hope that in the future it will be a new leading innovative center and residential area. In order to successfully launch the project, we have determined the following main principles: to be open, to be aimed at international cooperation. And the first steps that were taken by us were to attract as many stakeholders, companies, university R&D centers as possible. Also, we wanted to attract the citizens, so we made a tour all around the world. We visited the United States of America, Europe, Asia, and of course we visited China too. I would like to highlight the following point. One of the most complicated processes to establish cooperation between the countries was in China. But we have signed the contract with the scientific centers, with the Ministry of Science and Technology. But up till today, these agreements were only intentions agreements. And today I would like to cite the words of one of the characters. Ladies and gentlemen, the ice is broken. I don't want to say that I will be the head of this process. I want to believe that the ice is already broken, that today we understand well the importance of cooperation between Russian institutes, enterprises, and researchers and our Chinese partners. Up till today, we understood each other as for competitors, but this competition is an area where new forms of cooperation can be born. I truly believe in it, and I think that we have really good potential for the development of relations of our country. And the goodwill of the leaders that was highlighted today makes us believe that Russian-Chinese innovative partnership has a great future ahead of us. I would like to strengthen it once again. I would like to tell you that in the fields and the facilities of this new forum, a number of Skolkovo residents will sign contracts with the Chinese companies. They will enter Chinese markets, and the innovative projects made by Russian scientists will enter the Chinese market, including the new technologies for piping and special technologies aimed at better security of mining, less risks for methane gas in mining. We have a great number of ideas and research findings for future cooperation. At the end of my speech, I would like to say that I truly believe that our cooperation will be successful. I would like to wish you fruitful, long-term relations in the future. Thank you for your attention.
Well, thank you so much, President Vexelberg. According to the agenda, we have come to the end of the speeches. Now we come to the Q&A session. However, in the interest of the time, we could only take 2 questions from the audience. If you have questions, please raise your hand so that I can notice you. The gentleman, please. Please use the microphone so that the interpreters could hear you. I come from the Academy of Mining in Beijing. It's my great pleasure to be here to attend the part of the country innovation dialogue hosted by Ministry of Science and Technology and the Ministry of Economic Development. Our Academy of Mining is actually a research center, and also it has already become an enterprise. So we have very close contacts with the partners in St. Petersburg for more than 20 years. For the next stage collaboration, I suggest our 2 sides need to be open to each other and embrace each other to work together. I think we need to honor the commitment to each other. As an old saying in China goes like this: we need to respect the foreign culture, and also need to respect ourselves. So we cannot look down upon ourselves. I mean, on the Chinese side, we cannot look down upon ourselves. So we need to be clear of our achievements in new materials. We have our strength in this area. I hope that China and Russia could work together and look into the future so that we can really serve our public and serve the enterprises and drive economic progress. Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting us here. Well, thank you for your comments. Now, shall I give the floor to a Russian representative and a Russian participant? I'd welcome a question from you to the speakers on the stage. Any question from the Russian side? If we do not have any questions from the audience, shall I take the opportunity to thank you all for participating in this part of the country innovation dialogue, and also thanks to our speakers on the stage. Thank you for your excellent speeches. Thank you to our organizing committees. Thank you for your input into this dialogue, for making this happen. Well, thank you all.